Reading today is taken from what we call our scriptures, channel message from the present day Jesus, and the title of this particular pink book is The Dawning of the Age of Light, and I will be reading from page 53, paragraphs 1 and 2. Help others as you have been helped, for you have been guided and directed to know the truth. Bless you, for as you grow stronger in carrying out your Father's business, you will attract many who desire to learn the new way of thinking. Let your light shine and do not be afraid to speak the truth. One thought of truth can help someone begin a search for spiritual understanding. Your knowledge is being increased so that you can carry the word of truth wherever you go. Be still and know that I am in the midst of you with the gift of the Christ, your knowledge of life eternal. Be still and know that I am the eternal expression of love within you. Be still and know that I am the truth within you, the eternal promise released through you in this new age. Be still and know that I am the peace within the center of you, the peace to express the life, the love, and the freedom which are your spiritual heritage. You are born anew as a Christ, empowered with the attributes of Christhood. The wisdom and the knowledge to express as a Christ are given you, for the new age is here, and you are ushering it in. Be in peace, be in love, be in joy. Thank you, Jesus. And now to express that knowing is a very valuable member of our leadership here at the Teaching of the Inner Christ. She has been with the teaching almost from the very beginning, and she is a teacher, a healer, and a lifter of all. Here to speak today on expanding our knowing, please welcome with me Reverend Brigitte Heimers. Thank you, Jennifer.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Expanding our knowing. To this day, I remember the wisdom which my parents gave us children early in our lives. They said, quote, Wissen ist Macht, knowing or knowledge is power. And to this end, we were inspired to develop our intuitional as well as our intellectual knowledge. As I mentioned at other occasions, I consider my parents New Age parents for many, many reasons. Wissen ist Macht. I never forgot these words of wisdom. And I can honestly say that my entire life has been a growing experience through knowledge from both of these sources, intuitional and intellectual. In amazement, I have been embracing the power of knowledge, and through my sense of curiosity, I was able to expand my knowing this way. Curiosity is an important part. Webster defines knowing as, quote, having knowledge or information, acquaintance with fact, hence scope of information, end of quote. But to my way of thinking, I believe there is in us a knowing capacity transcending intellectual knowledge, which is really spiritual knowing. Nearly everyone has at some time touched this hidden wisdom and has been more or less amazed at its revelations. With me, the experience happened early in life, and I am forever grateful to my parents. This is the knowing that we receive from the direct fusion of the mind of God with our human mind, which is real spiritual knowing. Intellectual knowledge is independent of feeling. It is literal knowledge, without consideration of the spirit within us. Of course, people can store up a great fund of knowledge gleaned from books and teachers, but this knowledge is much enriched through our natural knowing capacity, which is called intuition. This inner knowing is the wisdom of the heart, and I was so happy to hear you sing your song where you touch the heart. It is very much surer in guidance than the head. When we trust spirit and look to it for understanding, a certain confidence in this invisible good develops. This faith awakens our intuition, our divine knowing. Through the power of intuition, we have direct access to all knowledge and the wisdom of God. I was very much aware of these ideas when I recalled my spring semester at the University of San Diego about 4 years ago. At that time, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama visited San Diego. He shared his wealth of knowledge with students, faculty, and the general public at 3 different universities. And University of San Diego was one of these universities. He spoke about the growth of inner peace and the fostering of personal compassion at USD's Jenny Craig Pavilion. That is a large place, and it was filled to capacity, and they had loudspeakers outside because almost all the students came to listen. During his lecture, he did not read from any prepared notes. His knowledge and wisdom poured through from his inner self, accompanied by a wonderful sense of joy and laughter. I remember he had been at San Diego State University, and before that he had been at National University, I believe, and each university gave him a hat. And our university gave him one too. And he had these hats, and he put one on and he laughed about it, and he put another one on. It was a joy to actually see, his gratitude for having been given these hats. I still remember that so well. So among the many words of wisdom, I still remember some others that he said. The Dalai Lama said that it is necessary to analyze one's emotions in order to enhance self-knowledge. This self-knowledge then can be utilized to develop a sense of personal calm that is independent of the external world. Some of you may know that the Dalai Lama was recognized as the reincarnation of the 13th Dalai Lama when he was 2 years old. At the age of 15, he became the leader of Tibet, and he officially retired from his post about 5 years ago. As a refugee, he lives now in Dharamsala, India, where the Tibetan government has been established in exile. Just I give you that for background. Even these many years later, I'm still in awe as I experienced his words of great wisdom that day. He also said that the strength of one's mind is necessary for happiness. He gave examples of people who are very monetarily successful, who have all their material needs met, but who are still very unhappy. And the zeitgeist of our technologically advanced century, with its bloodshed, fear, and violence, quote, can be observed every day. And of course, we all, I hope, are praying for peace in the world as we hear the news coming across the wires. He said that the material can only provide temporary comfort, but it is the mental fortitude that results in inner happiness. In my opinion, he truly encourages us to expand our knowing. And how can we expand our knowing? For starters, we can learn beautiful lessons from Jesus' messages in the pink books. As you know, my favorite one, and it was already shown to you by Jennifer, my favorite one is The Dawning of the Age of Light. And the first important message is on page 18. And he says, quote, "Know yourself. Knowledge of your inner nature leads to your understanding of your fellow human beings. And with this understanding comes love. Understanding the motives which cause a person to act as he does helps you to love him for his innate goodness, for the truth within his being, for the expression of God which he is. Seek to understand yourself first, and then you will be more able to understand your fellow men. Go within yourself for enlightenment, knowledge, and understanding. Seek your answers within." Seek your answers within. And then he goes on to say, "No one else can give you a better answer than you can find within yourself. You are attunement with universal mind." These words have really deep meaning, because I think they help each one of us. So after you found your beliefs, he also says in the next paragraph, take time to know yourself. Search your mind thoroughly after you have found your beliefs. Then seek guidance from your inner self to know your own reality. Bring your beliefs into alignment with the reality of yourself. Then you are truly one, not only in spirit, but also in body, mind, soul, in heart, and in strength. You are truly powerful when your beliefs and your reality are one. Your life is a manifestation of God. Take time to know yourself. And I noticed how many times in this book he tells us, take time to know yourself. And of course, Jesus always gives us practical applications. On page 41 of the same book. Let's see. 41. He says, if you look for miracles, look within. Here you have it again, look within. The miracle is in knowing your identity as a spirit being, as a Christ, and as a perfect soul person. Let miracles flow out from your perfect realization of your identity and from your concentration upon knowing perfection everywhere. And of course, we say that here at the teaching, perfection everywhere present. I think everybody knows that saying because we teach it in our classes, and of course it helps us when certain situations occur in our life. We can always relate to this one sentence: perfection everywhere present. And it seems like, this is an appeal to the universe, and we are being answered in perfect ways. So, to sum it up all for us this morning, we have already received everything we need to grow through knowledge, through knowing. And all we need to do is embrace this amazing power of knowledge and expand our knowing. Every day there's something that we can expand our knowing. And of course, for those who are listening on the internet, each class in our TIC curriculum helps us expand our knowing. So let's review some of the highlights to refresh our memory. During the first course of inner sensitivity, you might recall that you received your I am self or Christ self name, and you received a signal. That's the very first thing that our students do in that first class. We also learn about the power of prayer and how to formulate effective prayer treatments. We call them here RUCAT. You may have heard that the R stands for recognition of God. The U is our unification with all that God is. Our C is most important because that is where we state our claim, and we always state it in the positive, and we usually, or I at least teach in my classes, add the or better because you might not know what else might come your way that way. We also learn how to channel, the A of RUCAT is the acceptance part. We need to accept what we have claimed in advance, so you can see there is a real emphasis on faith as well. And then the T is thanksgiving. We give thanks in advance, for we know universal law is bringing to us what we have prayed for. We also learn how to channel and receive messages from Spirit. We learn how to deal with mental inhibitors and how to live this glorious duo life here on the earth, which is in itself a wonderful message that comes to us in our classes. And of course, other courses help us fine-tune our sensing abilities of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience. All of these tools help us to expand our knowing. And so I'm always grateful for what our teaching is giving to each and every one of our students in classes. So truly, during this season of Thanksgiving, let us be reminded that it is important also to be thankful throughout the entire year, because what we are sowing is what we are reaping. It is that simple. So I wish you happy holidays and have a wonderful time expanding your knowing.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Reverend Dr. Brigitte Heimers, for your inspiring talk.